how does Postgres actually store data? Well, I mean, the quickest way to learn is to spin up our console and try and figure it out from there. So if you do show data directories, it's data directory, sorry. But there's a command called show data directory that allows you to see what's the directory Postgres is currently using to store your data. And if you go in a folder, you can see that you have a bunch of files. The main one you might know is the Postgres conf. That is the command you would use if you need to tune your Postgres database for sometimes transaction times. If you have long-running queries that you want to run, you might need to tweak things here. But the folder that we're going to be looking into today is the base folder. The base folder contains all your data, and an interesting thing we can do is find the data from our tables and try and print out data from our table in the rawest format. So there's a command called select pg, which is Postgres relation file path. We are going to print out data for the contacts table, because it's a table I have on my local database. And the output is this relation file path. So these relation file paths are files of up to 1 gigabyte that contain all our raws. The way these files are organized is basically anytime you reach 1 gigabyte of data inside of a table, a new file of these gets added, and it would add another raw here. And internally, each one of these files is composed of pages. So when you read data from a table, you're not reading all the data in the table, because it would be 1 gigabyte of data. You're just reading one page. One page is basically 8 kilobyte of data. The way that is organized is there's a header with a checksum and kind of some integrity checks to make sure that what data is inside of this raw, inside of this page, and then at the end of the 8 kilobyte payload, there's all your raws, and all your raws are, it could be one raw if you have an 8 kilobyte raw, but individual raws are kind of stack ranked over here, and as you use more and more free space, the raws get stacked up, occupying then the full raw, the full page. Sorry. An interesting thing we can do is print this out and see how this actually looks like. You can see company, folk. This is a bunch of data that looks kind of unstructured for contacts. And an interesting thing we can do is try and see how it actually looks like if we were to query this data from Rails, let's say. Let's try and do this. So for example, there's this company, folk inside the contacts table. If we were to load this data from our ORM, right, there's only one thing here. Contact 1823 test at test. Traits plan pro. Yeah, interesting. There's test at test.com and plan pro. Yeah, you can see that's where the data is actually stored. If you were to try and change data here, as there's these headers in front of each raw, you would actually corrupt your database, and so I wouldn't suggest you to do that. That's pretty much it for today. Hope I'll get better at making these videos. See you tomorrow.